So Summer Games Fest 2023 was probably by far one of the best Summer Games Fest that I have seen in quite some time. It had many bangers dropping, had many trailers, many games being released, the whole nine. This is the new E3 of the year. But one particular company decided that they wanted to pull their dicks out and actually show how it's done to be one of the GOATs of this industry. And it was Square Enix. So Square Enix has been on a roll. They've been riding on this wave of hype for a long time now. Right? So let's point it out. They have Final Fantasy 16, probably their biggest AAA title to ever release. We have Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth coming out, which is going to be the part 2 to Final Fantasy 7 Remake. They have Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core, and of course they had the original Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and they have many more games that they're trying to either remaster or do X, Y, and Z. And this time they wanted to join in the mobile market again, because you know they have plenty of mobile games out there, plenty. Brave Exvius, they have Opera Omnia. There's so many Final Fantasy games on mobile, but this right here, Final Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis, plans to take the entire mobile gacha market by storm when it first releases, and I'm quite impressed about the quality of this game. And as a Final Fantasy fan, I am in love with every single bit of it, and I want to talk to you guys about my first impressions regarding Final Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis on Android. Now, before we finish this video, just know that I played this game on my Pixel 7. It is a mid-range chip. It is a mid-range phone. It is not a flagship specs. Flagship nothing. It is also not a lower tier. My buddy of mine had a more lower-ended phone. He cannot even download it because it would not support it. So if you wanted to actually try this game out, it is in closed beta test, but when it comes out officially, you have to have some form of a mid-range phone or at least a flagship phone. You do not need an Asus ROG, whatever, 16 gig RAM, 20,000 gig RAM to make sure this game works. Just a decently good phone. So let's go overall the overall graphics and visual. Now, the best way to talk about the graphics regarding this game is that this is like if Final Fantasy 7 Remake became mobile. That is the best analogy that I can give to this game, is if it became mobile. This is like a AAA experience on your phone. It's like a mix of the original Final Fantasy VII. There are a bunch of exploration moments, and once combat happens, boom, it becomes the remake. The blend back and forth is just chef's kiss. Like, it just definitely feels like this is a AAA experience on mobile. Just like Call of Duty Mobile, just like PUBG Mobile, like all of these games in their protective spaces are like that AAA experience, but on your phone, Final Fantasy VII is no different. Let's go over the overall gameplay and mechanics. Now, of course, this is a gacha game. This game has auto combat, but it's not too bad. Every gacha game has auto combat. It's bound to happen, right? But let's talk about the actual auto battler. The function comes in 2 different modes, which is semi and full auto. Semi will automatically use just your appropriate skills when a character has enough ATB gauge, which I'll get to that a little bit later, while full auto will also just automate the stance switching as well. Now, the ATB gauge. If anybody who have played the actual Final Fantasy VII Remake, this bar or the gauge will be very familiar to you. Depending on how this bar fills up over time, that would then allow you to actually do any of the spells that you have on your person. Depending if you're playing as Cloud, Tifa, or Barret, or any of the other guys from Final Fantasy VII, you'll be able to use that as well. Now, as well as overall combat, the combat has 2 different modes to use. So you have your semi and full auto, how you want the game to be played, but then you have the attack and defense stances. Now, the defense stances decreases the amount of incoming damage that the party will take, and also increases the potency of all healing spell casts when this stance is active. Meanwhile, the offense stance, as you might expect, buffs all damage that you're dealing with while in it. So the gacha system, probably the biggest meat and potato of this entire game. Yes, this is a mobile gacha game, but the gacha system, we don't know how exactly pay to win the gacha system is. There's not too much we can do in a closed beta, but overall how the gacha system works is you're pulling essentially for the equipment to equip onto your characters. There's many different items of many different rarities, you can upgrade them. All of it is going to be either cosmetic differences, so they all have their own stats, and then a weapon has their own stats. So your armor has stats, the sword has stats, and everything that you can pull for as well. Other than that, there's no pulling for particular units. It's just mainly just pulling for that weapon. Now let's talk about the overall story. Each level will show you what type of level it is, whether it is a talking level, combative level, or an exploration level, or all of the above. Essentially, it will show you in the far right hand corner, and it will light up which type of level it is. The story does consist of the original Final Fantasy VII, Crisis Core, and the First Soldier. Now, do not expect an in-depth look or an in-depth storytelling of these stories, because they're all going to be more crunched in, more smaller variations of the original story. Of course, you got to make it work for a phone. Now, this will cover a lot of significant events throughout each game, so it'll be almost like reliving Final Fantasy VII, and of course, anybody who is new to that world will get a general idea of what's going on. It still has the significant events that made Final Fantasy VII so great. But I will say this is a hot take, this is an honest opinion, but this will probably be far the best Final Fantasy on mobile, in my honest opinion. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is literally having a Final Fantasy VII experience on a whole new level. If you have never played Final Fantasy VII and you want to experience it, then this game finally releases. This would be the perfect time to jump in and actually feel for the Final Fantasy VII story. Of course, most people like me, well, I played Final Fantasy VII during the time originally back on PS1. And then a lot of other people also got a hold of the story during the Final Fantasy VII Remake when they dropped it for PlayStation. So now for the mobile gaming market, you can finally get a beautiful, great storyline at a decently good price for free. The price is for free. Like, you don't have to spend any money. You can get the good whole story. Of course, it is a gacha game. That's where the money comes from. All the cosmetics, all the good stuff, all the goodies that they give. But I want to hear what you guys think about Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Are you going to be a fan of this? Can you wait? Can you not wait for it? Will you be playing it when it comes out? Or are you already in the closed beta test? I want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Or if you guys want to talk more about it, then follow me on my Discord link below. I would love to talk to you guys outside of YouTube. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe. It definitely helps out, because I will be covering more Final Fantasy VII content when it comes out or when it becomes available. I'm going to continue playing it because I'm actually quite addicted to having fun with this game, and I love the overall feeling and the combat, the turn-based feat, like the way it just feels. Like, this type of experience on mobile is insane, and just know there's a lot more to come from where they're just getting started. But as always, it's been your host, Chaos TV, here at Chaotic Inc., signing out. Peace.
I make a manifest. I don't sleep, that's so weak, don't plan to rest. I'm from a hood where you die if you don't pack a vest. No culinary degrees, but whipping crack the best. Chefing, hard times taught lessons. Praying every night to pull up in park Benzes. What's my home is what you call trenches. You wouldn't last a day seeing life through all lenses. It's all tension, no sun and rain and plenty. Full-time job, still can never make a penny.